Truth telling or breaking of bad news. Very little literature is available on the breaking of bad news. Now the question arises, what is bad news in bioethics? बैड न्यूज़ से मुराद बुरी खबर यानी कि सिंपली कॉमन कोल्ड भी आपके लिए एक बुरी खबर बन सकती है, क्योंकि आपको ना सिर्फ डॉक्टर के क्लिनिक पे बार बार विजिट करना पड़ेगा, बल्कि ये आपकी रोज़मर्रा की ज़िंदगी को डिस्टर्ब करके रख देती है. Now there are two types of bad news. One is the objective bad news and the second one is the subjective bad news. If we talk about the objective bad news, then this is an unpleasant information that can be about the fatal disease, about the failure of treatment, about the poor prognosis, and even about the harmful effects that can occur after treatment, such as radiotherapy and after chemotherapy. Now the other type of the bad news is subjective bad news. This is how the patient perceive and respond to the bad news. So there are two types of bad news, objective and subjective. Objective is related to the disease, about the treatment plan, but subjective is something related to your emotions. Now, if we talk about the breaking of bad news, it includes different elements, that how much amount of bad news should be delivered to the patient. अगर आपका patient पहले ही sensitive है और इस काबिल नहीं है कि बुरी खबर को बर्दाश्त कर सके, तो इस कंडीशन में physician try to deliver 70 to 80% of the information to the patient. But it can also vary culturally, because sometimes it is believed that to deliver the patient information is to invite him for the death. So in some cultures, adult daughter or adult son is responsible for their patient health. They will decide that whether the information should be given to the patient or should not be given to the patient. So they are responsible for their parents' peaceful death. Now, whenever physicians break a bad news, patients suffer from different psychological distress that can be loss of hope, loss of control on the life, anxiety, or it can be in the form of suicidal effects even. So it is not only hard for the patients and for the patient family members to heard about this bad news, but it is also hard for the patient to deliver the information to the patient. जैसे कि स्वीडन में एक रिसर्च के मुताबिक 35 रेडिएशन ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट साइकोलॉजिकल डिस्ट्रेस का शिकार हो जाते हैं. they think that there is something loss of control on the life. So not only the patients but also the physicians suffer from the psychological distress. So worldwide 3.2 million of people suffer from tuberculosis, 3.3 million suffer from AIDS, and 2.5 million suffer from cancer. So these are all the fatal diseases, and you can imagine the load of psychological distress. For example, if we talk about the autoimmune disease such as lupus, we can simply diagnose the psychological distress by measuring the amount of anti-ribosomal antibodies. So different parameters are available for measuring the psychological distress. On the other hand, we can ensure different training programs, different workshops, awareness programs, not only for the patients but also for the family members. Then there should be proper counseling of the patients. For example, in India, which is considered to be a spiritual heritage, it is believed that the yoga exercise reduces the stress. So all these spiritual treatments can be done for these patients that are suffering from the psychological distress. इसके अलावा हमारी सोशल सोसाइटी भी हमारे लिए साइकोलॉजिकल डिस्ट्रेस का एक फैक्टर बन सकती है, जैसे कि हमारे इर्द गिर्द के ही लोग हमें परेशान करने के लिए काफ़ी हैं. अगर पेशेंट अपनी परेशानी के बारे में डिस्कस नहीं करना चाहता और लोग उससे बार बार डिस्कस करें तो मज़ीद एंग्जाइटी का शिकार हो सकता है.